Hey everybody, welcome back to another dual episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple and the Entrepreneur Rescue Mission. Grateful to have you guys here with us today. So we wanted to talk about an important topic, which is the importance of pre-scheduling your social media content. Now, again, this could be talked about on multiple platforms, whether you're, focusing on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Obviously, our primary focus is LinkedIn, but we're not going to do like 3 tips for this, 3 tips for that. We're just going to talk about the importance of pre-scheduling your content because so many people fall behind, not just on their business and personal brand, but their content. And it's really interesting. Sometimes, I don't know about you, Nance, but like sometimes I'm always interested to kind of like check in and see the people in our sphere, what they're up to, and you'll like check out their Instagram and they haven't posted for like 3 months, or you go to their Facebook and it's been like a month and a half. And they could be going through something, but we've done episodes like this before where we talked about, when you were recovering from your cancer surgery a couple of years ago, a lot of people before you came out and like told people what was going on, for a few weeks, people had no clue because your content was continuing to roll out. And for me, people ask, how do I stay so consistent with my content on LinkedIn? And it's because some of it, yes, is live and in real time, but some of it is actually pre-scheduled, which we're going to dive into. So Nance, we're not going to make this an elongated episode, but if someone was to ask you, uh, why is it so important for you to pre-schedule maybe not all of your content, but some of your content each week? How would you respond to that?
I would say so important. So considering full transparency, I think, we are human and, I know that my podcast, right, is something that I typically love, to get ahead with. And, this is something that I definitely coach and teach my clients how to do as well. We've got a social media posting platform, BYB Social. But we're human, right? So something happened this past couple weeks, and it's a little thing called getting sick, right? And it's a little thing called COVID. And so, what I found myself doing is, yes, I typically have a really well-oiled machine whenever it comes to creating content and posting content. But what happened is we were getting ready to go on a trip that we had planned. And I was kind of up to the episode, right? As far as my podcast went, and I knew I needed to jump in and kind of shoot a few episodes. Well, guys, we traveled to Utah. We ended up having multiple layovers and, flights that got canceled, and it was just like a travel debacle, but we made it out okay. But we ended up coming home, and the first day that I was, expecting to kind of get into the office and record a couple episodes, my voice was awful. I mean, it was funny. I was trying to talk to my team and they were like, Nancy, you sound terrible. And I'm like, oh no, I'm good, and I just kind of tried to power through and there was no hiding it. I definitely knew that I was on the brink of getting sick or having something. So, fast forward a couple of days later, had COVID and I could not talk at all. So, there's two things that I could do. The benefit again of creating content and having so much content out there. I could have gone into my archives and I could have pulled, some old episodes and I could have released them out on my podcast, but I didn't do that because guess what? I was in bed. I was in bed and I was trying to get better. So I didn't do it. So, let me be the first to kind of tell you again, right? Fall on my sword. And, again, let me be the first to tell you that we are real people. And I fell behind. Okay. So it is so incredibly important that you do get ahead with content, that you do plan things out, that you do have a buffer, right? In our ideal, I would say being at least 4 to 8 weeks out where you've got a nice steady stream of podcast episodes or, pillar types of content, whether that be video or, podcasting going out is key. And so I got trapped. I got stuck in my own little, circle. And again, getting COVID, which, I didn't foresee, really kind of bit me in the butt. So again, let us be the example of, not doing that. So yeah, scheduling your content is so incredibly important for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what we kind of went through coming back from our little vacation was
Well,
I had
Well, and I was gonna say, let's kind of share a little bit too about like, what we were doing because the whole trip was amazing, right? We haven't even really shared, some of the magic, that happened on the trip.
Well, I'll share that second. So first, I just want to say part of my LinkedIn strategy, I always do a LinkedIn Live Monday. I do some sort of post, personal brand or business brand on Tuesday. Wednesday, I do a poll. Thursday, another video. Friday, I do my newsletter. Saturday, another poll question. Now, the cool thing is on LinkedIn, you can pre-schedule everything. You can pre-schedule your posts, your polls. You can pre-schedule your newsletter editions, and that's what I do. So sometimes, I do go live Mondays and Thursdays, but sometimes I actually, through StreamYard, you can pre-record your training. So am I boring you, Nancy?
No.
I mean, people are gonna be so those that are watching on YouTube, hopefully I'm not boring Nancy too much. Anyway, um, the fact is sometimes I have prior commitments in the mornings, even though Nancy and I do block our mornings off. Sometimes if I'm sick or maybe just I don't want to go actually live the day before. So if like just as an example, on a Sunday, I can actually record a training on StreamYard, and then I can schedule a live stream for it to go live on LinkedIn at 10 a.m. when I always go live. No one would know the difference because it's coming in as a live, and that's the beauty of using a streaming software like StreamYard, where you can kind of get ahead of that. And also, sometimes I'll do like a longer personal brand type post, a couple images on a Tuesday. That's also something that I can pre-schedule. So I can sit down on a Sunday and I can pre-schedule and pre-record my video that goes out on Monday and Thursday. I can pre-schedule my post that goes out on Tuesday. I can pre-schedule on LinkedIn my polls that go out on Wednesday and Saturday. And then I can pre-schedule and write out my article from my newsletter edition that posts on Friday. So literally, I just have to go on and just do my normal activities on LinkedIn, my connecting, my messaging, my interacting, my nurturing, and the rest just publishes when it publishes. And I think if you're not taking advantage of these pre-scheduling tools, not only are you probably falling behind on your content, but it's probably stressing you out more than it's actually inspiring you because now you feel like, oh, I have to post. Nancy and I, we theme out both of our content themes every single week. So I already know what the theme of my content is going to be for this coming week. And I'm already going to pre-schedule all my stuff. And again, can I, change the posting date or something? Or delete something and maybe repost something else? Absolutely. But I can promise you 85% of the content that you see on my LinkedIn has been pre-scheduled the week before. And what I can tell you is this, we do the same thing with our podcast. Our podcast, we always have episodes pre-scheduled weeks ahead of time. And it feels so good because Nancy and I could go away for a couple of weeks and things would just continue to move forward because we're pre-scheduling our content. So just really make it a purposeful action for yourself to pick a day during the week. We like Sundays. Other people want to do it Tuesday, whatever it is. If you block out 90 minutes and sit down there and have a pre-scheduling tool, whether it's on LinkedIn or through ours, BYOB Social, or whatever you're using, get your content pre-scheduled at least 2 weeks out. It just takes so much of the burden off of your shoulders to have to be on social media all the time because, I'm not going to speak for Nancy, but for me, I don't want to be on social media all the time. I don't want to have to be able to create content all the time. I want to be able to create it, pre-schedule it, get off the platform, and move on to the important things of my life. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Now, back to what Nancy alluded to. So, a good friend of mine, April Petui, her amazing husband, Kyle. So April was a client of mine. We met in a mastermind that we were in. I did a LinkedIn training, and basically she reached out after the training and, she said, like, let's work together. But fast forward, we're doing different stuff. So Nance, if you want to kind of chime in.
Yeah, no, just before we pop off, because I know, again, there's a quick little episode. Just wanted to give you guys a reminder, right? To get your content scheduled, all that good stuff. But, it was just such an awesome trip. And we were able to spend actually a lot of time with entrepreneurs. And the big thing, really want you guys to know that, we are going to be focusing a lot about, or at least I, on Entrepreneur Rescue Mission, I'm going to be focusing a lot about content creation, the importance of organization and pre-scheduling and all that. So definitely stay tuned for some upcoming episodes. But, one thing that I just wanted to drop with you guys as well is, we created a little bit of a mastermind, right? With other couples who are in business. And it's just been so incredibly phenomenal. And one thing that really kind of themed out of all of that is, if something doesn't exist and it's something you really want or need, you can build it, right? So you can do a lot of really amazing things. And I just wanted to drop, that in there that, again, we're not going to go and talk a ton about it. But just really, even though we got COVID and, the travel, obviously the ups and downs there, it was just such a fantastic trip. And we're on the other side of it now. And of course, looking back, I'm like, man, I should have planned out my content a little better. I should have prepared, whatever. But, just living in the moment, being present. And just like Scott said, right? We don't want to be spending all of our time on social media, right? We want to live life. So that's what we really wanted to leave you guys with. Scott, anything else you want to share?
No,
Tack on?
just we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Obviously, we got some other workshops coming up, so be on the lookout for those. And again, remember, whether you're using LinkedIn's pre-scheduling tool or the one that we have, BYB Social, or anyone's out there, just get ahead of your content and just really be mindful. Work smarter, not harder. There's so many things that you can take off of your plate that just frees up so much other time for other things that you can do. So, again, we hope everyone had a great and wonderful Father's Day weekend. We wish you a wonderful week ahead. Be productive, be happy, be healthy, and all those things. So, love and gratitude. Hope you guys enjoy the episode, and we'll talk to you next time.